All right, guys, I'm going to welcome everyone into the live. We're going to give everyone a few minutes to hop in, man. This is one that we needed to get into and just get on here and have a conversation and just go over that video I posted you see right there last night of the John Brda interview / conversation we had on the Twitter space last night on the MetaFam chat. All right. So we'll give everyone a few minutes to hop in here, and hopefully the live is working on YouTube. There we go. We got people in. All right. So everyone joining in, if you can leave a comment down below saying the audio's good, the visual's good, everything's good, give a thumbs up, and we'll know we'll be getting ready to rock and roll here in a few minutes. Hit everyone with the let's go. All right. Everyone's saying good. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. Kevin, what's good, Terry? All here, the news last night was positive and reassuring. Yes, it was. Carlos saying, let's go. Slow says, looking good. All right, perfect. We're good on that part. So the audio and video is good, so that's perfect. Real quick, I'm going to get my link into the chat here in case anyone wants to join the channel membership. So I'm going to go grab that real quick. So let me mute my audio here so you don't have to hear that. So let me go to, I think this video back here, I had my link in it. There we go. Oh yeah, that's not the one I wanted. I wanted to get, see if I can copy the link here on it. Oh no, that's not the one I wanted. I need to get the channel link. Oh well. Probably have one way back here. How far has it been since I posted the channel link? Jeez, it's been a while. A month ago did I have one? There we go. I knew I had to have one a while back. I've been doing the Webull link. They're offering a great promotion right now where you get so many free stocks. But now we got to get back to the channel link because Alexander, what's going on, man? Thank you for being a channel membership. As you see right there, guys, the link I'm about ready to post here into the chat, that is what my buddy Alexander is. He's in the silver tier. And if you click that link, let me go back here to the actual, I'm on YouTube. Oh, YouTube, what are you doing? Okay, there we go. All right, YouTube was lagging there a little bit. I don't know what the heck was going on. But before we get started, I'm going to show everyone, in case you're new, we do have a lot of new people into the MetaFam, into the MMTLP, MMAT, metamaterials, everyone into the family. So if you're new to the channel, there's a blue join button, or if you're on your phone, you'll see down in the bottom right corner, there is a money symbol. If you click the money symbol, you'll see this join button here. And Pedro, buy the dip. Yes, sir. Let's effing go. And you can join the channel membership for as little as $2.99 a month, guys. You get the loyalty badges, you get the custom emojis, and then we have a silver and gold tier memberships in there as well. And you also get my buy and sell alerts and my channel membership. I have something in there now. It's talking about over 7% interest rate for the next 6 months. And if you want to see what that is, plus I got other trades in there we did a while back that we've done fairly well on. So consider joining that. All right. So enough there with the preach. Man, you guys, we had John Brda last night. That was like the most amazing thing, I think. Had to be one of the most amazing things. That had to be probably the biggest thing since the Sterling interview with George and Ken at CES. Like, that with John Brda last night was just like phenomenal. Like I said, had to be the biggest reassurance, because after Sterling had that interview with George and Ken, everyone was so hyped. Everyone was so pumped up. And ever since then, we haven't really heard much about anything. So to hear what we heard last night from John Brda was like phenomenal, guys. It was literally phenomenal. It was like just so reassuring for everybody, and everyone felt so pumped, so excited. Yeah. And a lot of people here, as Kevin saying, we're going to watch some of that and play through it here in the stream. Because John Brda, he confirmed, we're going to watch the stream, we're going to go over some of the stuff. About 95% of the stuff that he sees on Twitter. Now, we confirmed that John is very active on his Twitter, guys. He's very active on Twitter. Now, I don't know so much on YouTube. He did mention that he's going to watch, he's been recommended to watch Roller Pigeon's video, the Bird Lady, but every time he goes to do it, he gets distracted. So that is pretty interesting. Maddie says, I think Bird Lady has a crush on Brda. I can't blame her. I mean, we all had a little crush on Brda last night, man. He was dropping the goods last night in the live stream. And I do want to say thank you to everyone here, man. After that live space last night, I've been getting a lot of new followers on Twitter. So I can see why Brda likes Twitter. We are approaching 2,200 followers on my Twitter account. So if you're not following me on Twitter, go follow me at TerryZ247. That is my official Twitter. And hopefully we can approach 2,200 here soon. All right, so in the meantime, as we're going through stuff, we're going to do the interview part last, and we're going to cover that together. And we're going to pause it, make comments. I'll make comments if you guys comment during as we listen to it, because it's going to be very interesting. Get the volume back up. All right. So let's go take a look at the Fintel information first here and see what we got. So it's still showing that the days to cover is 10.46 days. And our short squeeze score is at 88.87. Make that a little smaller there. There we go. Robert, yes, hail Meta. Yes, sir, man. Short shares that available is 200,000. And the short borrow fee is up. That is amazing to see. 9.88%, guys. We are close to hitting double digits on the short borrow fee. That is exciting. Pedro says, I'll add you on Twitter for sure. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Pedro. We are getting one person closer to those followers. Dame, what's going on, man? Welcome in, Dame. I think we could hit over here, man. The way this is going and what we've been hearing, and we're going to re-listen to it again tonight because it's very phenomenal. The shorts were a little light today, 47.23. They didn't come at us as hard as they usually do. And we don't have the information, but maybe by the time we're done everything, maybe we will have the information. How much is the dividend? $50 divvy. Now, that's something that Brda couldn't really go into, which we knew he couldn't really go into. But he reassured, man, look at this guy. This, now, why do you think MMTLP is up 14.29% in a bear market? I mean, if you look across all other stocks, they're getting, it's bloody, it's you know, just red out there. It is a red market. And you got MMTLP after last night up 14.29%. That you can thank to Mr. John Brda. 50 on the spot. I think it could be too, man. That is equaling out to the estimates of Tony market moves charts that he made using Roller Pigeon's number. So it could be, man. She says 29 to 46, and as we know, she said that's being conservative. That's not including the gas, you know, and stuff like that. That's just the oil. That's not including anything else, the natural gases and all we have as well. So, I mean, check that out. I mean, when's the last time we would see something like that? Up 15 cents today, 14.29%. And average volume is 600,000, and we traded 409,000 volume today. Huge volume day for MMTLP, actually, because the volume on this is usually like 100 to 200,000. And we doubled the volume today because I think people's like, I got to sell stuff. I got to get cash from wherever, and I got to buy that MMTLP. So welcome in, Jenny. Thank you for joining. Jenny, man, one of the longtime viewers here. Terry Monday, roller pigeon, look out for the S1. Yes, she is. She has her chart. She has a whiteboard behind her, and she has the list of charts. She's going to reorganize it and get that up to date for us on everything there. Raja, where's the $50 divvy coming from? The oil assets, man. That's where it's coming from on the Torchlight. We are planning, it's going to be probably me, Syntax, Smokey, and Roller Pigeons. We're going to plan a Twitter space chat for a lot of the new investors into MMAT and MMTLP. We had noticed there is an influx of new investors in here that doesn't really understand the whole history of MMTLP and MMAT. And now that Brda has cleared everything up, everyone feels very comfortable to talk about this to new investors because we got confirmation from the former CEO of Torchlight. So we are definitely going to come out with some kind of Twitter space chat for new investors to kind of go over, I guess you would say beginners on the stock, new people that's investing in so they understand what they're investing into. Jenny, thank you so much with that super chat. Wow. Thank you so much, Jenny. You don't even know how much them super chats help out right now. Super helpful right now. And you know MMTLP is bullish, and we're going to watch that here. When even Uncle Smokey said, I have to buy it now. When have you ever heard Uncle Smokey talk about wanting to buy MMTLP? But after Brda was talking about it last night, Smokey wanted to buy MMTLP, and he needs to go buy it. So very bullish for Uncle Smokey wanting to buy it. Jenny, man, thank you so much again for that super chat. All right. Yeah, even Uncle Smokey will tell you himself. He said it, and you're going to hear him say it. He wants to buy MMTLP now. So, yeah, Dame, Smokey is going to buy MMTLP. He needs to get a brokerage to do it. He wants to buy it. Yeah, if you want to message Smokey yourself or comment on his video, he will tell you he's going to buy MMTLP. Here we are on MetaMaterials. Look at MetaMaterials up over about we were up 6.4% during the regular trading hours, and now we're down 0.75% in the after hours. So we're up over 5.5% on MetaMaterials here today. Average volume 5.4 million. The volume trade today was 4.2 million. Pretty good volume. And get this, we were green in a bear market day, so that is pretty amazing. Spider, I agree, man. We all miss Sterling. We hope Sterling is doing good, and we hope Sterling will come back. I think he just needed a break. Hopefully he'll come back. We'll welcome him back with open arms, and hopefully he is going to be refreshed and more bullish than ever on MetaMaterials and MMTLP. Hopefully he got to hear and see the interview with John Brda last night, because that may even, get a little boost of energy back. I don't know. It's just everyone got refreshed last night, man. Like, we all hit our second win. So I'm going to crank through this info so we can get to this interview and talk about it together. WTI crude oil is down to 98.69, and Brent crude's at $102. We covered that. John Brda was retweeting out today about Elon Musk getting Twitter, and our boy George did as well. Here is the, I have it on my Twitter if you wanted to play back the recording. I know I got it in my like here of George as well. Here's some more stuff of Elon surfing into the Twitter's headquarters. There it is. George did legendary. Good job for Elon getting Twitter. So George did. Oh, and I got to comment back to that on the MMTLP on Fidelity. So I did I did call Fidelity today, so I can give you that much. And when I spoke with them, they transferred me to the specialist for bonds. They consider MMTLP as under like a bond index security thing. So you have to call Fidelity. They have to transfer you over. And the gentleman told me once that specialist gets your account set up for like purchasing the bond, or the fixed income bond is what it's called. They have it titled under. Once they do your first initial trade for you and your account is approved for buying fixed income bonds, because that's what MMTLP is trading under Fidelity, is a fixed income bond, then your account is able to buy and sell it without having to call in anymore. Now, I can't confirm that, but that's what the representative told me today. He transferred me over to the fixed income specialist, and I tell you guys, I get a 30-minute lunch break, and I was on hold for 25 minutes for the fixed income specialist and never got through, so I had to hang up. So I was very disappointed that I tried to get the fixed income specialist through Fidelity, and it just never picked up, and my whole lunch break ran over, and I had to hang up, and I'm like, no. So we didn't get that. So if I can get through tomorrow and buy some shares again and get my account trading without needing to call them, I will give you all that update on Fidelity. All right. So hoping that will be the case. All right, so now I think, guys, we are ready for this basically Q&A. We're going to play this here, and do it before you go to, well, I could try to do it before I go to work. If I can get through to someone, maybe they can place the limit order for me. I may try to do that, Spider, actually. I might try to do that. So I recorded the Twitter chat here last night through my OBS, my recording software. I sent this link to, I sent it to Syntax, I sent it to Smokey, and I sent it to Bird Lady. So that way we all have a private video link in case Twitter would remove this chat for some reason. That way we had this link saved to our computers. So that way we have 4 different people with the link saved. So I have the YouTube video out last night of this whole recording from when John Brda started to when he ended, plus about 10 minutes or so of us just all excited and hype. And you're going to hear Smokey hype and excited in this as well. So let's get playing here, and I'll stop and make comments during some of this chat. And if I see a good comment down below, we'll stop and make a comment on that as well. So as you guys listen to this and you hear something you like, leave a comment and we can stop and make a comment on it.
Able to use it, or do you want to try? Hey, I just noticed, John, you have a mic. Are you able to use it, or do you want to try just saying,
hello.
Hey?
Hello.
Hey.
Can you guys hear me?
Hello, John. How are you?
I'm good.
Yes, we can.
You know, it only took me 15 minutes to figure this out.
Well, I'm glad that we could be your first space call. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. I don't know how much you can speak to, or if you even want to, but we were just discussing just pre-meta, so TRCH Torch, your experience and how frustrating and everything that you had to deal with for years and years with the shorting that you experienced.
Yeah, it was quite something. Quite frankly, the first time I really got a taste for it was when I would say about 8 months after we uplisted to NASDAQ. I monitored the short reports every 2 weeks that NASDAQ put out, and I had a NASDAQ rep that I would talk to about it, and try to understand who's shorting and why and what have you. And then one particular time, I think this was in October of like 2014 or 15. I can't remember exactly right now, but we had like 3.2 million shares short. And then the next time it came out, we had 1 million shares short. And so I did an analysis of the trading for those 2 weeks, and it was just an impossibility that there was short covering. It just, at that point, we were trading maybe 100,000 shares a day, and every single trade plus 300,000 would have had to have been a short cover in order for that, that covering to be matching up with what NASDAQ told me. So I put a request into NASDAQ to investigate, and FINRA, and they came back and said, sorry, that short position was moved offshore and it's no longer in our purview, so we can't give you any information on it. And I'm like, I was flabbergasted. I couldn't believe it. And I was like, so wait a second. Just 2 weeks ago, you told me that every share that was short, you had a line of sight on that share, on those shares, and that they were legitimately shorted. Now you're telling me you have no idea where that stock went. And they're like, yeah, that's correct. That's like, okay, well, this is some real bullshit going on here. And it continued to get like that, over the years. It was just,
All right, guys, I have a couple shout outs to give. Sorry, I had to refresh my chat here. It kind of froze up, but I got it out. And I want to say thank you to Edward for the super chat. Jenny is great. Brda made it clear on the S1. The puppy goes private. Going to be a short bloodbath. Roller Pigeon mentioned registering the shares. Good grief, best news all day. I agree, Edward, man. Like I said, Roller Pigeon is like the best. Her and Tony Market Moves on the whole dividend. They are phenomenal. I'm hoping to get Market Moves on this Wednesday. I'm trying to line out with him his schedule. And then I know Market Moves and Roller Pigeon is going to do a live stream down the road as well after we get ours in. So going to be very exciting. Ian says, pretty stoked, Terry, after watching the interview. Brda just loaded up 700 more shares this morning on JP Morgan. Yes. Spider, thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate it so much, guys. These super chats help out so much. I love and appreciate every single one of you, man. You guys are amazing for supporting the channel. Larry says, look, everyone, is Terry. Yes, sir. All right. Leo, great news. All right, so let's get back here to the chat and let's get John Brda going. And I'm actually writing down timestamps so I can come back and make clips later on as we do this.
We were getting shorted over in Germany. We were getting shorted in Europe. And these guys that are offshore, they will short you and try to drive you into death so they never have to cover. That there was an article on Twitter this week I saw in some of the threads about, the analysis of a short. And it was spot on. All of that stuff that was in there, I experienced. And, you guys have done a great job of analyzing this. And kudos to you all for getting together like this. I think it's fantastic. And anything I can do to help within my purview that I can actually speak about, I'd be more than happy to. So.
We really appreciate that, John. Oh, man, you have no idea how much this community actually enjoys hearing somebody actually be able to speak out about it that has experienced it like firsthand. I mean, we only speculate on it, we guess, we hope we're right, and apparently we're nailing it right on the head.
Yeah, you're it's funny. I see a lot of the tweets, and I don't respond to a lot of them, but you guys are there's some of the stuff that's kind of way out there, but You're
sorry, I'm laughing out loud. Sometimes we get off.
But I will say this: you're I would say 95% of the time you guys are spot on. So that's great.
All right, so I got to pause it there because that is a time clip that I went from about 3:30 up to about 4:06 on my recording, where John Brda there is confirming that we are like 95% correct. So we definitely want to get that clip. We definitely want that clip. I had to hop off the Wi-Fi on my phone. I don't know what the deal is with the Wi-Fi. Okay, cool. So we're going to say from about, this is going to be the John Brda. And this was Twitter tweets. Twitter tweets confirming 95% correct from what he's seeing on Twitter. Now, he didn't say YouTube. He is saying that he's confirming 95% of the Twitter tweets that he sees, 95% is correct. So let's hope, like I said, man, let's hope the dividend is one of those freaking tweets that is right. Let's hope that.
Yeah, we're probably the bane of Ken, but that's okay.
Ken doesn't like any of this, by the way. Neither.
I know.
But I'll tell you one.
But,
yeah, no.
I'll tell you the big one you guys missed about 2 weeks ago was when they hired Yanni.
Yeah, no, I love that. So that guy, he is something special.
Well, you have to Google or go on YouTube and look for Black Files Declassified. This was just a special that came out on the Science Channel.
Are we talking Argus?
I hate it. Yep.
And it's...
Yes, I think Smokey and I have been messaging about that.
Okay, I didn't see anybody talk about it.
Yes. I actually did a video about it.
Oh, you did?
It was yeah, I did. I did a video. It was because nobody was talking about the fact that we brought him on, that we brought Yanni on. I'm like, wait a second. He's the creator of Argus. He's like, he did this.
Well, yeah, there's
It's huge.
yeah. I thought that was really, really intriguing. I had when I was out at CES with a guest of Meta, I had a chance to sit down with him, and just, you know, a brilliant mind. And so you know, we'll see where this goes with inside of Meta, but I do know that he is extremely connected and brilliant. So that's going to be a huge one for them.
Well, he was
I
the
have a
one.
question.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I have a question that maybe you can answer, because you would know better. Do people carry over their clearance? So just in general, so like he has obviously or had military clearance. Would he carry that over? Does that like apply towards Meta, or does he lose that at his old company?
Yeah.
No, I think I don't really know the answer to that as far as military clearance, but I do know that. Well, let's just say that I know things are going to be happening with Yanni, and let's just hope they come to fruition.
Can I pipe up for a second? So, Smokey,
Sure.
I know absolutely for a fact you keep your clearance, and I know for a fact that is something that people look at for hiring, just because those are the people that are in my community, right? Because I work with a lot of, or work and know with a lot of military people, and they're so, I mean, they're so expensive to do those clearances, so it's really a benefit. But more than that, I mean, because we're looking at Yanni's, I mean, he was with BAE.
Yeah.
Right. And that was the company. I don't know if you guys remember one of our last fam chats. I was like, if something happens with BAE, I need to know, because there's some cool stuff. And there's some stuff in my purview, which obviously I don't want to put my tinfoil hat on and say too much, but there's some things that I'm very interested to see. The thing about Argus that's so cool, right? I mean, you were talking about this, Smokey, in your video, right? You can see like such fine details, but the typical lens of what they're doing for surveillance, like if they were looking at something, it was like looking at something through a straw, right? You couldn't get very much information, but Argus is like giving you so much fine detail, but like a wide lens. I mean, this is some cool stuff. I'm excited to see his connections are fantastic, because as much as it pains me, I talk about the military industrial complex, and that's not really talking about it in a positive light, because I'm not always positive towards them, but there really is a good old boys club. It really is who you know, right? So this is huge.
Yeah.
I mean,
DARPA funded that whole program, and so he's obviously has military connections, and BAE is a fantastic company, and so I it'd be interesting to see what kind of projects they put him on here at Meta, but whatever he's on, I'm sure is going to be improved tremendously.
Yeah, so he's the head of engineering, electro, optical, and infrared systems. Right. So,
well, if you go back and look what he did with Argus, he basically, the way he describes it is like 64, iPhone cameras mated together, and then the software meshes the image together, and they can actually each one of those cameras can be individually sourced, which was really bizarre, really slick actually. But anyway, when I saw that for the first time, actually about 6 months ago, I was like, "Holy crap, that's incredible!" So,
I foresee him leading us towards that whole autonomous driving field.
Yeah, that's keep in mind, Jonathan Waldron is a big optical guy too. So the two of those collaborating are going to be really fun.
Yes. Yeah, because Argus was able to spot. Yeah, because Argus is able to spot like distance and everything. Yeah. So if with the calculations of all of that together, oh my God, it's just limitless. And then you add the nanoweb in there to power it all and keep it all free of fog and ice and just, it's crazy.
Hey, did you ever find anything, Smokey, about the office in Maryland? Did you ever get any details on that?
I've got no details on the office in Maryland as of yet. They said it was supposed to be opening up here in the next couple of weeks. I would assume that once it's open, you'll probably see something about it, because every time that they get any kind of property lease or anything, you'll see it in the queues. So I would assume you may see it in this one or the next one at minimum.
Hey, John, does it ever make you laugh when we're out trying to scout information and we're like, where's the office?
Because I know all the answers to the questions you're asking. And so, and just to be clear, I'm still a consultant to the company, and I have not sold a share of Meta and haven't sold a share of MM.
All right, so this is definitely a part that I got to get the timestamp for, because Brda is confirming here in his own words what was tweeted a while back. I want to say it was maybe October or November. And to get that officially updated through Brda himself here is just truly phenomenal. So where Brda says he hasn't sold a single share, and he goes into this fantastic story of when MMTLP first showed up into his brokerage, and he saw this money in his account. It's an amazing amount of money that he saw, and he didn't even have no interest in selling it. So that to me is like bullish AF, if is what I'm going to say. Bullish, 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 that he didn't want to sell when he saw over $6.6 million sitting in his brokerage account, and he had no interest. He could have just sold it and ran, guys. He didn't want to do that. He knows this is worth a lot more than that. He had no interest of selling when he had $6.6 million of his 2.2 million shares. He had no interest of selling it. So, yes, divvy, MMTLP, divvy. All right, so let's go back and get that timestamp when he started talking about this. So we're at 10:44. I think it was around.
You're asking, and so, and just to be clear,
So around 10:35, I'm going to say. 10:35 is going to be the John Brda Mmat TLP no selling. Okay. All right, while we're going here, I got a couple comments. Yeah, man. I can tell you right now, personally, people on, whoa, did not mean to do that. Real quick, we'll take a little pause. A lot of us media influencers, YouTubers, Twitter people, we have noticed that we're getting a lot more followers now since just even last night. Like, my Twitter has grown probably 20 to 40 followers since last night. We've all been saying, like, man, there's a lot more followers coming on YouTube. There's more followers coming on Twitter. Bird Lady's getting more followers on StockTwits. So there is a lot of newer retail investors out there coming into our stock. And we're going to put out a space here eventually on Twitter with Syntax and educating those people to catch them up to speed with all the information that we have. And we have to, remember, if someone has no knowledge of this, how can we explain it in layman's simple terms, something we've been covering since last June. So we have almost to go back 10, 11 months to get someone up to speed that's coming in like here today. So it's going to be very interesting. Yes, guys, everyone smash thumbs up. You don't even know, sharing it, leaving comments down below. If you leave comments when the video is uploaded down into the regular comments of the video, it helps out so much. As you can see, joining channel membership, leaving super chats, anything helps out. Get this message spread out to people. So now we're going to go into the part where John, this is exciting. John Brda talking about not selling a single share.
I'm still a consultant to the company, and I have not sold a share of Meta and haven't sold a share of MMTLP. McCabe has never sold a share. We were both, when we looked at Meta for the first time, Greg and I both looked at each other and said, shit, this is the next BASF. It's this is a generational stock. And so that's why we were so excited to do this deal. I'm in no rush to do anything other than sit and let them do what they need to do. So
Absolutely. Yeah, this could be the next generational hold.
Yep. So it's there's a lot going on, and they're drinking out of a fire hose internally. I know that.
Does that make you feel, I don't know, kind of peace or vindication, knowing, that the day will come that they'll get theirs, kind of a thing?
It's interesting is that I think the day will come where they just decide to go for a different stock, because the short guys, that's how they make their living. They're looking for companies that they think are not going to make it, and they're going to.
Does
I got to get to where he actually ended talking about that for the timestamp.
So,
absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say about 11:15 on my recording is the ending of the timestamp there, and we're gonna get into the next.
Yeah,
one
this
here.
could be the next generational hold.
Yep. So it's there's a lot going on, and they're drinking out of a fire hose internally. I know that.
Does that make you feel, I don't know, kind of peace or vindication, knowing, that the day will come that they'll get theirs, kind of a thing?
It's interesting is that I think the day will come where they just decide to go for a different stock, because the short guys, that's how they make their living. They're looking for companies that they think are not going to make it, and they're going to drive them into the ground. That's their goal. It's completely un-American in my view, and I think personally, any market cap, under say $500 million shouldn't allowed to be shorted, because you never give these companies a chance to make it. They're just, they're so big and powerful that you can't fight them, and the SEC is not going to do anything about it. They never do. So,
did you reach out to the SEC at all?
I've actually, indirectly, I would say yes, but I was always advised from my attorney, SEC counsel, who was a former SEC attorney. He said, there's nothing good that's going to happen by you reporting anything to the SEC. He said, because what they'll end up doing is, instead of, looking at the shorts, they're going to question everything that you've ever done with the company. He says, that's the way it goes. It never goes for the shorts. It always goes for the company. And I was like, well, that's great.
That's it.
Well, that's because the shorts have their hands in their pockets. I mean, it's, you got Citadel, Virtue, State Street, Melvin. All of these guys have got their hands right in Gensler's back pocket.
Yep.
I mean, it's never going to be corrected.
Well, Gensler wants to get a cushy job when he's done, right? It's like, it's a revolving door. Are we working for the hedge fund, or are we working for the SEC, right?
So it's
everybody who works for the SEC work for hedge funds.
I think the shorts will eventually find another victim, and they'll move away. But it's going to, not without trying one last push. That's for sure.
Do you think that Meta had a target on its back because of TRCH?
Absolutely, I believe that.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, because Meta's
ever since day one,
they're in a good cash position, and they've got 200 and some odd patents, and they're the type of company that people should be getting on board with. And if you look at the institutional holders of the stock right now, State Street and Vanguard, and some of these other, BlackRock, what have you, they're not there because they like Meta. They're there because they were forced to be there through some ETF or some deal that they had to buy, and then all the option trading around it. That's what's causing those guys to have positions. They don't give a shit about Meta. They're not.
Right.
They've probably never even had a conversation with Meta.
They'll lend every single share that they own out to other short sellers, to other broker dealers, without batting an eye, and then they'll make money off of that too.
Absolutely. So it's always funny to see institutional holders, and those guys that I've mentioned. They're just they're the worst of the worst. So
yeah, they are absolutely. And this has been a battle that's been going on for years. And the funny thing is it's only really come to major light over the last couple of years.
Yep, that's true. That's very true. It was interesting. So we'll see what happens. You know, the MMTLP thing was, you know, a shocker, caught us all off guard.
Yes.
And
all right, so I'm going to say around here at this part, I'm going to say he ended at around 15.15. And that was him talking about the shorts giving up, moving on to another stock, and he's talking about the shorts in general. Now we're going to start here around 15.15. And I think this is where he talks about, I believe, the money in his brokerage account from when MMTLP first. This is amazing part here.
you know, that there were some mistakes made in that deal, unbeknownst to anybody, quite frankly, that allowed them to trade it. And you know,
But to be fair, I mean, that had never, ever happened before, right?
No, you know, it's two market makers got together on the gray sheets, and the only reason they were allowed to do it is because of one word that was in the preferred, that said transferable.
Oh, wow.
That was it. So, and we also had a CUSIP number, and we also used DTC to distribute it. So it was, you know, they got together and went to FINRA, got a ticker, and went to the gray sheets and used information from 2012 when I was the president of the company, not CEO. And it was just, you know, OTC markets didn't do anything about it. Nobody did anything about it. They don't care. So.
Yeah. I imagine that was a frustrating, I would think maybe a right word, and this is probably bad, but I would imagine it was kind of a clusterfuck when they saw that the NMTLP was trading like, holy crap.
I was getting phone calls from my broker and from, you know, guys that were close to the deal. And like, are you looking at this ticker? I said, I have no idea what you're talking about. I was actually on a trip to Nashville when it happened. And you know, I saw my 2.2 million shares all of a sudden worth $6.6 million in my account. I was like, oh, okay. How the hell did that happen? You know, so you know, that's when I started to look into it. But yeah, it's the nefarious shit going on. And
absolutely.
I was actually on a trip to Nashville when it happened, and you know, I saw my 2.2 million shares all of a sudden worth $6.6 million in my account. I was like, oh, okay. How the hell did that happen? You know, so
yeah, so right there is a point I wanted to kind of enlighten on a little bit here. So Brda was on a trip to Nashville. He has 2.2 million shares of MMTLP, and he got calls from his brokerage. He got calls from other people. Hey, what's this? And he's like, I don't know. And they're probably like, your name's on the pink sheets for this, the gray sheets. And people's like, why is your name on this? He's like, I have no idea. And he is saying that his 2.2 million shares is worth $3.6 million, $6.6 million. Brda, when that was up, he could have just sold. He could have sold when those shares were worth $6.6 million. And he didn't do it. He did not want to sell. Guys, he did not want to sell. Now, a little quick math here. 2.2 and the 6.6 is $3 a share, and he didn't sell. He didn't sell when it hit $3 a share. So, welcome in, Wancho. What's going on, guys? Welcome in, buddy. But yeah, so Brda didn't sell when it was like $3, trading at $3 right at the beginning. So it has to be more than that, man. He knows what it's going to be worth. This is my opinion. He knows what it's going to be worth. And I mean, if you're holding something and you don't know what it's worth, or you don't have the conviction in it, and you bought it on a gamble or a hype play, and you look in your account and you see you basically got 300% returns on it, do you think you're going to sell it? You know what I mean? If Brda is so bullish on what he has, he didn't sell it at that price. He knows it's worth a lot more than that, so he had no interest of selling it. Now, he was telling us that, we're going to get probably later on in this video, but they're going to try more tricks. This ain't over. As this stock goes up, they're going to probably do this little bit of, I think they're going to do a little FOMO rally at MMTLP. They're going to let people buy it up here, and then they're going to dump a bunch of shares in the market and drop the price back down and try to scare new investors out of this and sell their position back. So as they're selling it to new investors at $1.10, $1.15, now $1.20, they're hoping to drop it back down to $1, and people's going to see that money drop out of their brokerage, and they're going to get scared. Maybe people's buying it and putting stop loss on it. New investors that don't truly understand what they had with buying MMTLP. So that's why there's no stop loss on me, man. This could go down to 0 because this doesn't affect me. This could go down to 1 cent. MMTLP price to me doesn't mean a thing. The only thing that's going to matter to me is when Meta comes out and sets the price on it officially. So, all right. So that's my quick thoughts. Let's get back to the chat here. Now we got Brda here going on to the next thing, I think. So,
you know, that's when I started to look into it. But yeah, it's the nefarious shit going on, and
Absolutely.
we'll see.
Well, I was
Now,
that TRCH was still trading in some European markets.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
That TRCH was still trading in some European
Yeah,
markets, even still.
I don't know how much it trades over there, and I don't know that they mark, you know, daily trades, what have you. I have no idea, but yeah, it's, you know, the interesting thing is that my theory is that MMTLP would have never happened had the books been really balanced on the dividend day. So the brokerage houses, the prime brokers, and these hedge funds never cleared their position. And
Now they're kind of stuck, right?
yep, and so they've, you know, they started trading this so they could get, you know, people to sell their preferred positions that were in their brokerage account so they could clear out their trade.
exactly.
So
Because the sooner you get rid of it, they can account for it.
that's right. So and it's
Now,
still not.
here, can we?
I still don't think it's over. To be honest with you.
Oh no, I don't think it is. Now, I do want to know if we can clear this one thing up. Since we've got you on the line and you're as official as it gets. And I think this has been made public. If you can't answer it, just say no, you can't answer it. Everything was transferable. You just said that. That means anybody who holds the new shares of MMTLP means that get transferred too, right? They get their dividend.
Yeah, they get their dividend.
Yep. Thank you very much. I needed to hear that. Thank you. You're welcome, Bird.
I'm so glad she unmuted to do that. Do it again, Pig. Do it again.
Yay! No, I've been hiding in office plant mode. I've been just observing in the office plant, listening in, taking notes, and then so it's like Smokey asked.
I just want to say I love that when Brda confirmed it and then Roller Pigeon unmuted her mic and it's like, yay! After Smokey asked that important question there, man. So that was like a highlight right there because there was a lot of, I don't know, man. A lot of people was putting a lot of FUD out there about if you buy MMTLP, you're not going to qualify for the dividend. And I'm like, look, Fidelity is telling you if you do it, you qualify. TD Ameritrade, if you buy it, you qualify. You get any dividends. So, yeah, that's the end of that. Brda there just confirming it himself. Former CEO of Torchlight Energy confirming you buy MMTLP, you will get the dividend because in the filing, there was a word that said transferable, and that's how the market makers got around to put MMTLP in the market so they could hopefully buy your shares to cover their short shares and buy them at a cheaper price because they know the dividend is going to be worth a hell of a lot more money down the road. So that's a quick summary on that. Alexander Santee, what's your disposition of your MMAT1 options? I exercised those options back in January before they expired on January 21st, and they put the MMTLP in my brokerage, and they're just sitting there now. All my MMTLP and TRCH, they're combined into MMTLP, and it's all in one ticker symbol now. So it's all setting through that. Chris is saying, so people held through the merger got suckered in. Well, yes and no. I think it was just a part of the legal terms in the filing for that word to say transferable. And that one word in that filing is what screwed the whole thing up. So yeah, that's what screwed the whole thing up. That transferable. So this is an opportunity for people to buy this up at this price and, you know, let this play out. Now, we don't know if it's going to be what the dividend's going to be. We can speculate. Man. That's all we can do is speculate on the price. Brda can't comment on any price. But he does see stuff on Twitter, and he says we're 95% of the time correct, and 5% of the stuff's way out there. Now, we're just hoping that the dividend calculations isn't way out there, because we do post a lot. I know we posted Tony Market Moves chart for the dividend, and we're hoping that is in the 95% correct of the calculations of a tax-deferred event. So I would love to know, is that post correct? Because if that post's correct, we're good to go. All right, guys, I got to catch up here. Yeah, so it was just in the legal filings, and yes, Jenny, I did. We got the Brda We Trust back there. I made that up last night, and I have to put it back there because Brda, man, he just come out and put like a whole new life and wind in the sails of the investor and all us retail investors. And we are more motivated than ever to be more positive about this than we ever have been. Jenny saying, Terry, when are you doing live with Tony? I'm hoping this Wednesday. He hasn't confirmed yet. He has been very busy as of late. Tony Market Moves has been busy. I will shoot him a message tomorrow to see if he's available for Wednesday or we can get it in this week because he has a very busy schedule. He's trying to get the live interview in of me. Then he has to schedule one out with Roller Pigeon as well. So we'll promote that one out once we get more. Oh, wow, Jenny. Wednesday is your birthday. That's amazing. Well, happy early birthday, and hopefully we see you Wednesday. But if you're going to be out celebrating, I completely understand that. But, you know, it'll be recorded, so you can go back and watch it on YouTube if we do get Tony. All right, so let's get back here to the interview. I'm making my notes as we go of the timestamps of the important stuff here with the John Brda.
The $1 million question, and we heard it.
Yeah, it's, you know, I've seen that on Twitter a lot for a long time. People concerned about, you know, if they bought MMTLP when they're getting their shares. And I know, I thought Ken had mentioned something about it before, so I didn't really say anything about it. But yeah, I mean, you know, I know a lot of guys buying MMTLP.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bert. Go ahead.
Yeah, so how Ken worded it, and this is where a lot of the animosity has generated from, is that, you know, Ken can't really say MMTLP legally. Like, they can't give another ticker outside of, you know, MMAT or MMAX. And so he always says the preferred A shares, the original preferred A shares, and it's just that nomenclature of the preferred A shares has caused all this animosity and this dichotomy that has happened.
That's because he doesn't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole because we had nothing to do with it. And so, you know, Ken is a former attorney. So when he says stuff like that, it comes from an attorney background.
Yeah, he's very.
You said he didn't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole because that's what I said. I'm like, I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole.
I'm a bit more adventurous. I'm like, woo, I can buy more.
Yeah, I don't know why that was such a big deal, to be honest with you. You know, it's funny. And then they tried to make this thing about, you know, when George supposedly was video or recorded from the Italian guys. And, you know, he said, well, the dividend could be $1 or $20. We don't know what it's going to be. And, you know, at the time, the MMTLP was trading at $2. I said, well, if that's not satisfactory, sell it, you know, just sell it, you know.
Well, that's the video that everyone was trying to find the full recording, right? Isn't that the one where he was getting misrepresented because people were taking pieces of it?
And there's forward-looking statements in there too. There, you know, quite frankly, that and them taping that was complete BS. You know,
what's real BS is the fact that people are taking a 20-30 minute excerpt from an hour and a half long conversation.
Yeah. Did you ever find that full video? or recording?
No.
Are we recording?
No, I've looked high and low. So the only person I think that actually may have the full video, other than of course I think Meta probably has it, their attorneys may have it, is Radar from StockTwits, which, as we all think, that's Radar Capital. But I think that's the only person who has it, and nobody's seen hide nor hair of him. So
Yeah, I've never been on StockTwits, so I couldn't tell you.
Don't go on there. It's a waste.
No, it's okay. I love StockTwits. Shout out to my StockTwits people watching. I love you. Radar said he'd come back at $8.
$8, yes. Bird loves StockTwits.
You can have it. You can have it, Pitch. I want nothing. I won't touch StockTwits with a 10-foot pole. There we go.
It's okay. I'm adventurous. I love StockTwits. Shout out to StockTwits, my second home. You guys are great.
Oh man, this is fun. Anyway,
This is fun. Okay, so John, I do want to ask a question then, and maybe you know. As far as the NMTLP, do we have synthetics on that? Because it's shorting, right?
I assume there's shorting going on. I hear from people all the time that tell me they're short on it, but synthetically, without options, I don't know how that's done. And secondly, it's not, it's all gray sheet. So I don't, there's only 2 market makers on it, or 4 market makers. I'm not sure, but
We've got a few.
Sorry.
We've got a few.
Yeah.
I mean, it's trading on a few platforms. Is Fidelity, did it stop, or is it still on Fidelity?
I don't know. I don't have a Fidelity account.
Fidelity is still very hit and miss over the phone, according to sources.
Yeah, but you can't trade on their app anymore.
Ultimately, that's the biggest problem with it being across the OTC market, the gray sheets and the pink sheets. We don't know any truth to any of it. We can't follow it because nothing has to be reported on.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to solve that problem because Meta's not going to touch it at all. So,
no way. Yeah, no. I always just choose to leave it alone. I let the bird talk about it, and I talk about Meta because that's it just works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson, guys. No, and it's hard too because sometimes people are like, "Oh, please don't talk about the divvy," and then there's other people who are like, "That's all I want to talk about." But I mean, for me, I'm just waiting to see how things play out because I know George has a plan, right? And we're not all privy to it, but that's the catalyst, and that's what I'm waiting to see what happens.
Well, it'll be interesting
I'm
to see what happens when we do the filing on the S1, like we had mentioned in the.
All right. So I think he ended there around 24. Say 24.20. So we'll go from 24.20. And now he's talking about the S1. John, Brda, S1 filing. Man, my handwriting is atrocious. I'll tell you all that. Being on the real, handwriting's a little atrocious right now. Because, if you don't notice, because I'm facing this way, I'm a lefty. And the binder freaking spine, the metal rings, is always in my freaking hand as a lefty. So as I try to write stuff here on the notes, my hand is always rubbing against the freaking metal clips. Sucks being a lefty at times, man. It is scissors and everything else. Baseball gloves, everything is not made for us lefties, man. So if there's any other left-handed individuals in the chat, man, props to you all for the left-hand gang, man. Yeah, it's insane. And that's right, Bird Lady's in the chat. She's a lefty as well. You know what I'm talking about. When you're trying to freaking take notes and the freaking spiral binder is on your hand the whole time, and it's in the way when you're trying to take notes of these freaking notes of the thing, and the binder is always in the way. Yes. Left brain. All right. Yes. Jenny here saying we're all going to freak out when we get paid. Yes, we are. Yes. Yes. And I don't know if you can see, but I do have some there from writing. But yes, I do get golf. Yeah. I mean everything, man, they don't make it for us lefties. They just don't make it for us. So all right, so now we got John Brda talking about the S1 filing. And I'm glad we're on here doing a live stream and I can talk to you all. And yeah, no, I could do it in the back of the page, but it's kind of weird doing it that way. It's a good point. I could try to do that, but I'm already doing it this way. Might as well just keep doing it. So I can go back and make clips and then upload them up. And then that way, for newer investors, it'll be easier because some people don't want to watch a whole 40-minute video. So if I shorten these clips down to what they are on here, they'll be 3 to 8 minute long videos, and it'll be a lot easier for people to watch. So, all right. Let's get back here. John Brda talking about the S1 filing.
And the press release. And then the date comes when that, because there has to be another dividend date. There will be after the S1 is approved, there will be a dividend date. And then you're going to see, the rats scurrying, I should say, to see, and then everything will come to fruition. So
new dividend date. Let's go. New dividend date. Woo, new divvy date. Now, I had to put that in there because, as you guys know, man, new divvy date is going to be something interesting because they're going to be talking about the preferred share and there's going to be a new ex-dividend date. And what happens like when there's an ex-dividend date? Do you remember what happened with TRCH leading into MMAT? Woo! That thing ran up like crazy, man. What did it run up to? $10 and the reverse split made it 20. So there could be a huge run on MMTLP. And yeah, it's going to be phenomenal. Now, there's parts in here where he's going to talk about, I'm going to let him say it and then we'll comment on it. But there could be, as he said, the rats are going to be scurrying to get these shares once there's an ex-dividend date because they have a timeline. So, and yes, I agree with Leo 100%. The Bird Lady Roller Pigeon has been spot on. And we're all hoping that when John Brda said 95% correct, we're hoping her dividend calculation is in that 95%. All right, so let's get back here to this.
Everything will play out. I think it'll play out a little differently than the last time, but I think it'll play out at that point. So it'll be
the rat scurrying. Mm-hmm. So when you say the rat,
well,
are you talking about in the short?
The rats, the shorts.
This is my personal opinion. I think there's a pretty decent sized short in MMTLP, and I think the deck was never. The GL was never balanced from the merger. And I still think there's stuff going on. And what you're going to see, and this is just my personal opinion, is that you're going to see some brokerage houses are going to deny people to be able to acquire MMTLP. And then they're going to say, just like Robinhood did, sell only, which is going to create all kinds of problems in MMTLP when that dividend is issued.
I'm wondering if we might actually see that with Meta eventually too. I mean, because they cover those shares. That's why I moved my stuff out of Robinhood. I couldn't move my MMTLP I moved it to Vanguard, but they wouldn't take my MMTLP, right. But I could move my Meta over. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that with quite a few of them.
I would also say that one of the things you guys talk about a lot is the number of, the float shares in Meta and what have you. There's so many people that I know that were big holders of Meta that haven't sold anything, and in fact have acquired more. So I would, in all of those shares from Canada that came in, exchange.
Oh, this is where we got to get this on a separate clip because this one's a bombshell. Brda clears up here. So I'm going to put in there, he talks about no selling MMAT, and he says they're actually buying more MMAT, and that ends around at 27 minutes on my part here. So interesting there. He says that the insiders are not selling, and they're actually buying more. And we know with these filings on the FinTel, when they come up through the SEC, that it takes a while. Sometimes it could be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So we're going to see these filings coming in. If he's saying people acquired more shares, I guess if they're institutional or insiders, we will see the shares come through on the filings. If not, now we got to start the new one here. Oh. I got so excited my cap came off. Look at that, man. We got to get that fixed. Rip the pen, man. Rip the pen. All right, so we're going to say at 27 minutes, Brda talks about MMAX. Yes, this is huge. Where he talks about MMAX. So let's get to this.
Exchange shares, those aren't even
back here about 27 roughly.
That I know that were big holders of Meta that haven't sold anything, and in fact have acquired more. So I would, in all of those shares from Canada that came in, those exchange shares, those aren't even exchanged. So they're not in the float. They're sitting there on the record books of Meta.
Yep.
So
I just want to say there, man, Smokey, you could just hear the excitement in Smokey's voice, man. He was super stoked to know that those MMAX Canadian shares are just sitting on the books of Meta and they're not in the float. So once those go into the float, wow, that is going to take a lot of shares off the open float. So yeah, it's going to be very exciting. Brda there confirming about the MMAX. That is huge. That they're still in the books and they're not even into the float yet. I think they said they had up to 7 years to exercise those and get them into the float.
I know.
That totally made my day. I'm gonna leave now.
You're like, I'm done.
That guy that just commented, that's Meta Support Channel. If you follow him on Twitter, that was him talking there, Meta Support Channel.
It was good.
Just want to let you know, John, you are officially my hero.
well, here's the thing is I'm not telling you anything that's not out there. So
no, I know it's not, but what you're doing is you're confirming a bias. You're confirming so many things that we have been saying only under pure speculation, under pure assumption that we're interpreting the words properly. It makes us feel good, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
It validates our hope.
Well, from a meta perspective, it's just a matter of time. That's all it is. I think that they have so many great things going on that I am privy to that you all are not. That and George and Ken have, talked about the verticals, and it's crazy all the people they're talking to. It's insane. So,
did you ever talk about me, George?
is this Birdly?
Crack it.
He doesn't. Let's just say this: his tweeting has gone down quite a bit because his attorneys are telling him not to do that.
All right, so here I got to get to the part where he starts talking about George and the attorneys and why George isn't active on Twitter. We got to get that into a separate clip as well.
And have talked about the verticals, and it's crazy all the people they're talking to. It's insane. So,
did you ever talk about me, George?
Is this Birdly?
Crack it.
That's funny. There was Syntax asking if George ever talks about her. That is funny.
He doesn't.
So I'm gonna say here 28. 35. Now he gets into at around 28.35. George not active. Oop. George not active on Twitter. And it's basically legal. All right. Yeah, no dilution. Yeah, so, all right, let's get back to this. All right, so we did have a couple questions. We'll take a break, and I'll get these couple questions. I think it was Jenny up here. I want to get to her question. Will MMTLP most likely be tradable until at least the end of May? You know, that's kind of hard to really give an honest answer because John Brda has confirmed that there will be a filing out giving a brand new ex-dividend date, which means you will need to own MMTLP at that date. So we do know that, but we don't know when the S1 filing is coming out. But also John Brda said that he's predicting and thinking that there could be a chance that the brokerages take away the opportunity to buy MMTLP and that you will only be able to sell your MMTLP. So if you're able and you want to buy more, I would suggest and just highly suggest, my personal opinion, buy it now before that S1 comes out, because there is a chance that the shorts could be paying off the brokerages to say, hey, look, once this comes out, take away the buy button, but let them sell it because we need to get these shares on the book. So that's a possibility. So that's why I'm going to try to be getting as much as I can. I'm trying to get through to freaking Fidelity. It may be quicker for me to open up a TD Ameritrade account and get money into there and to buy it, because no one's having problems on TD Ameritrade. And it's like, I don't have an hour to get a freaking phone call into Fidelity. So it's killing me there. I can't add some more shares right now. Yeah. So that's all I got to say on that, I guess. So hopefully, but I'm thinking, though, here's the thing. Once that S1 comes out and there's press releases rolling out, what's going to happen, guys? This thing is going to start running up. That's what happened with TRCH, man. When they announced that TRCH is going to have a Series A preferred share, TRCH ran from like $1 or 50 cents up to like $10 before the merger. So there is a chance that this MMTLP is going to do the same kind of run. It's going to do the same run, if not even bigger, than what TRCH is, because of the potential of this dividend. And yeah, so buy up as you can now, because the price right now, it don't really matter if it's $1. If honestly, if it's $1, $1.20, $1.52, it really doesn't matter. Brda confirmed on this call that he didn't sell at $3, guys. So that makes me believe the dividend is going to be higher than $3. That's just fact. If Brda didn't believe the dividend was over $3, why wouldn't Brda just sell his 2.2 million shares at $3? He could have got his he could have cashed out at $6.6 million, and he didn't. So Brda believes that this is going to be more than the $3 dividend, and that's pretty much confirmed, because he could have sold for $6.6 million and he didn't sell it. So I'm thinking the dividend calculations have to be close, guys. That's just my personal opinion. There could be a run up where this thing starts going. It could be running up to $2, $3, $5, $10, and there's going to be people cashing out of it. And, you know, I can understand that, man. People have different financial situations. They see that money growing up in there, and it's like, can I really hold out to 29 to 46? Can I really hold out to get that? Or are people going to start taking some profits as it goes up? Like I said, there's no rhyme or reason. You got to do what you got to do for your financial situation. I plan on holding. I'm not selling. I want to get the dividend amount from what Meta is going to pay, and we will go from there. Space Ghost saying, so buy MMAT? Absolutely. It's up to you to buy what you want. You want to buy MMAT? You want to buy MMTLP? Totally up to you what you want to buy. I do think, you can't have enough of both, because I think once the dividend's paid out, and once people start investing in MMTLP and this dividend, they're going to start doing research on MMAT, and they're going to start buying that up as well. So it could kind of run hand in hand with what's going on. I love it, man. We got support in the chat for Jenny. She's going through a tough time right now. And we got the Meta family helping out our girl Jenny in the chat. I love it, man. I love it. That's what we're here to do. Help each other out, man. All right. So let's get back here to the chat. We got John Brda getting ready to talk about why George is not active on Twitter. And I think we all know why. And he confirms it here. What is going on with YouTube? YouTube, the chat keeps like kicking me out. I don't know what the deal is with the YouTube chat. Hope I didn't miss anything, but I think that oh, Jenny's saying Leo is helping me by offering me to sell his MMTLP to me at 50. Yeah, I got you. That's not really a great bargain there, Leo. We can buy it for $1.20 right now on the open market. All right, so let's go here and listen to John Brda.
Let's just say this: his tweeting has gone down quite a bit because his attorneys are telling him not to do that. So, but he watches. I know he does.
All I got to say is I hope I'm one of the first guys that get to go into the new Meta building in Halifax and test all the cool stuff. I want to play with all the toys.
Yeah, I'm actually going out to Pleasanton in about 2 weeks and see that facility. So it'll be good.
I just want to say thank you, John, for everything, man. This has been amazing tonight.
Well, I appreciate you guys getting together and being such loyal shareholders, and just know that even if I don't respond to everything, that I'm watching and listening and all of that good stuff. I will say this: I've started to watch the Bird Lady videos many times, and I always get distracted. And one of these days, I'm going to watch them all. So.
She's a pretty smart gal. She knows her stuff.
Man, that right there is huge. I can just tell you, man. John Brda saying he's going to watch Roller Pigeon's video, man. That's like every content creator's like goal is to get, if you're bullish about something, is to get people from that company to watch your video. And for him to say he's going to sit down and watch Bird Lady's videos, and I think he also goes in there saying that he's been recommended to watch it, man. That is just amazing. And I've always wondered if George sits down and watches our videos on MMAT as well, if he's even just browsed them. I was always curious about that. So it's nice to hear that John Brda is going to be doing that with Bird Lady. So very interesting. And makes me think, he knows she talks about the dividend. So we're hoping if that 95% is her calculations, we're all going to be good to go. And she says right there in the chat, still excited about it. Yes, man, I'm excited for you, Roller Pigeons. John Brda going to watch your video? Like, that is freaking, like, amazing. And I'm thinking, if he's told to watch your videos, does that mean, like, the people that is recommending this must be like, hey, this girl is, like, right on with what's going on. She's dead on the money. We know we had Tony Market Moves back test the math as well against the numbers she used, and it all matches up perfectly. So, yeah. The bird is the word. That's right. The bird is the word. All right. So let's keep going here with John about watching Roller Pigeon's videos.
Actually, I've heard that. I've some other people that have called me and, recommended that I watch them. So, but
you really should. You should keep her in mind for maybe some future stuff.
Oh, there you go. All right, everyone. I'm gonna get out of here. It's 9:00 now, and I got some stuff to do. So
thank you, John. We appreciate you thoroughly, man. We really appreciate you. Thanks for stopping.
All right, keep up the good work, everyone. And
thank you.
Thank you. Keep digging. That's all I can say. Keep digging.
Yay! Do I sound like Pidge?
Yeah.
Yay!
Good night, John. We appreciate you.
See y'all.
See ya.
Oh my gosh!
Before we get into the next 8 minutes of this clip, this is where you're going to hear all of us be little schoolgirls in a sense. We're all just freaking elated. We're all excited. So this is the last part, 30:35 to the end of 38:21. I'm just going to put bullish AF as the subject for this one. after John Brda leaves, bullish AF, talking about John Brda. Everyone. All right. So, yeah, man, Smokey here. You're going to hear Smokey be so bullish on stuff. It's amazing. I get in there and chip in. We got everyone chipping in. So let's get in here and watching this together.
Everyone look at Terry's picture on like his emoji with the 2 thumbs up and the big smile. That's me right now.
I wish you could see my face right now. Holy shit.
I think I got the same expression on my face from that profile picture right now.
Hey, Terry. What's going on, brother?
I mean, you know, I've been preaching positivity since this all started, man. Like, I put my neck on the line out there, like my viewers talking about back at the TRCH, you know, the when it all first started with those MMAT1 options. I got so much hate for that, preaching MMTLP, and just to get that confirmation from John, you know, not only just from a tweet, but to hear it over the, you know, phone here, and just like, you know, he's saying like 95% of the stuff we're saying is correct.
I know, right?
So we're only wrong on 5%, and we, you know, we can speculate what the 5% we're wrong on, but we're right on 95% of the stuff he's seeing on Twitter. So that's fantastic.
Hey, Pitch, you don't have to raise your hand. Just jump in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like it how John said, you know, how he talked about in the preferred share in the proxy statement, they put one word in that proxy statement, transferable, which made MMTLP valid. And I'm like, yay, finally, you know, we get it straight from the horse's mouth, essentially, or the bird's mouth.
Oh my gosh.
Pitch, how is that? So John is going to start listening to your videos, right? You're a smart cookie. He's been told by other people to listen to your videos.
I don't know. It's like, should I be worried? Should I be worried or excited? I don't know. I made a video earlier today. I got to make a video now about the S1 filing that will be put out and what an S1 is and all that. So I'll be making a video here probably tomorrow about the S1, or maybe tonight and put it out by tomorrow.
Okay, good, because he was saying the S1, and then that's going to give us a new divvy date, correct?
Correct.
So,
yeah, the S1 is going to. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, you know, so S1 is going to be a statement talking about the spin out oil co, and then the new X date followed by the new record date, because that's how the shares are going to be, you know, reconciled. And it's from the S1 and the PR of that, you know, that'll be the official oil co. And I just made a video today that once that's when we'll get your presentation. And then my video today was my investigation on why there hasn't been a presentation. I've been digging pretty heavily on that side this past week.
So, and now John also just stated what you stated in your video, you know.
Hello?
George has been a little quieter. Hello, you there? Hello?
What happened to Pitch? She said, oh no, and then...
Hello?
She might have dropped
I think
her
it glitched out.
You there?
Can you hear us?
You there, Bird?
Is this the Starlink? Is it not working?
No, she drifted out. She dropped out real quick. She'll come back.
Oh, yeah. She'll reconnect.
Yeah, anyway, so she put in her video, she'd even said that, you know, George had been a little bit quieter and nothing has happened yet. And John just said his lawyers have been stopping him from being too vocal lately, you know? So, you know, it makes a lot of sense. She even said that in her video that he may have had to, you know, like, she was comparing it to Hogwarts to, you know, the one evil lady. God, I can't even think of her name.
Madame Umbridge.
There she is, Umbridge. Yes, she came in and she had stopped them, and then that's basically what the lawyers are doing to Meta. They can't talk anymore. John just said that. He just confirmed that. He's like, they haven't been able to do much, you know.
Yeah,
well,
that's why I've been investigating for the past 10 days. Is the whole lawyer situation at Meta, the lawyer lockdown at Meta. So that's why they haven't been able to do any like additional PR or any like presentation that George says. All they can say is we're executing
Yeah.
the plan, which is going to be a series of events, more or less, that will possibly come once that S1 is filed and released.
Oh man, how's everybody feel? I mean, seriously, come on. Well, how does everybody feel now?
Freaking fantastic.
It gave me the pump, right? So I always keep saying it's only a matter of time, but to hear him say that, it's only a matter of time. You know, it gives you that burst of energy. You know how people who are runners always say they get their second wind?
Yes.
I feel like I'm getting my second wind.
I don't think I can describe the excitement I have. I mean, I've always been super bull.
I think I'm gonna have to make a new sign because I had the George we trust. I'm gonna have the Brda we trust now.
Woo!
Brda we trust, man. I have to have that on the background. I had to make one up because that was like,
Well,
that was. That,
I mean, if you think
Bill,
about it.
let's say, we're gonna welcome in my future meta millionaires. That freaking thing from Brda just makes you feel like that, man. It just puts that happiness in you.
Well, for him to take the time to come and chat with us, right? He doesn't have to. He knows what's going on. But for them to be concerned about the community, oh my gosh, that's just huge. And we're right 95% of the time.
I'm sitting here trying to hit my fucking vape and I can't do it.
It's amazing. I'm happy.
The dividend is on that 95% correct. That's
Yes, dividend calculation.
Yeah, that dividend
Oh,
calculation,
man.
95%, because that's going to be a massive short squeeze if that's the case.
All right, so listen, I now need to know how to buy MMTLP. I haven't done it in so long.
I haven't bought one.
That is the quote of the year. Smokey needs to know how to buy MMTLP. I got to make that a clip. There it is. Smokey saying he needs to buy MMTLP after that Brda interview there. Let's get back to that. Think about right here.
That's going to be a massive short squeeze if that's the case.
All right, so listen, I now need to know how to buy MMTLP. I haven't done it in so long.
I haven't bought one. I don't know, but if we're gonna squeeze, it would be on both theoretically, right? So, I mean, they have to cover their meta shares, right? Because they're torch.
Well, yeah, but I want them both now. I'm greedy.
I bought more on Friday on Fidelity. It's open back up for trading on MMTLP.
On the app?
Yep.
Thank you, Swing.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks very much, Swing.
Yeah, thanks.
There you go. I don't know. It's Fidelity. Schwab, I think, was another one.
E-Trade does it. And guess this, JP Morgan. If you have a JP Morgan account, they do it, but you have to put in a limit. Like E-Trade, you can only do OTC with limits. Same with JP Morgan, but JP Morgan does MMTLP now too.
All right, guys. So that's where I clipped it out. A lot of the important stuff there. We did 30 minutes of Brda. We had, what the heck am I saying there? There we go. About 8 minutes or so of us chatting afterwards. I wanted to keep the most important stuff there. So I had that in there. Now, I tried to go in and buy on the app today, and it wouldn't let me. So I just want to speak real quick to my Fidelity people. The representative that I did speak to at first, he was transferring me over to a fixed income specialist because he's saying that MMTLP is trading under like a bond security, and you have to get your account, like I guess in the terms and conditions of a bond specialist, fixed income specialist. So he was saying that we have to get your account set up to be able to buy bonds and securities and things like that. And he said, after I get my account accepted for buying bonds and securities, I should have no problem going back in and buying MMTLP on the app, or buying and selling it. So it's just a matter of getting through to the phone to get that representative to get my account set up for that, because they have to get your account set up for that. And once your account's set up, the representative said I should be able to buy and sell without having to call in. Now, I can't confirm if that's true or false because I myself have not been able to do it. That's what the representative told me. That gentleman there on the chat with us, commented, he probably called in before, got an order, they got his account set up, so he was probably able to go back in and buy again without having to call in. So that's probably what happened there. Here we go. Vivid Surround. I'm a latecomer to this play. I also conspiracy theories late. I'm holding gaming stock as well. What's reasonable expected on timeline is? We don't really know the timeline. There's no expected timeline until the filings come out. We're kind of guessing May or June it could be. But like I said, that's just all pure speculation guess. Until the official press release comes out of the dates, we don't really know. So we'll just have to wait and see. But we would think that it's going to be happening soon. Yeah, DK, that's a good question. I wonder what happened, because it has stopped me multiple weeks now from buying MMTLP at like $1.02. It stopped me from buying at $1.05, and now it's up to $1.20. So it's costing me more money. Mr. Tang says he was on the phone for 10 minutes, got it done. You have to sound like you know what you're talking about, or you'll get the runaround. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what it is. And I did call around lunchtime today, so that's probably a bad time to call. I called, my lunch break is like 12:45 roughly, so I was calling around 1 o'clock, and yeah, it was very busy, and I was on hold, and it just couldn't get through. So I'm hoping to get the account set up and be able to be good to go. Maybe I'll try to call them early in the morning and see if they can just get me set up for a limit trade and then get that trade executed and hopefully just buy like 10 shares or something on a limit trade. And then I can go in and buy them and, all on my own if I happen to call in there every time. So, all right, guys, I think that's going to be it for this live stream. We covered all the information. We covered MMAT, we covered MMTLP, we covered oil prices, we covered the Fintel, we covered Twitter, we covered the big interview there with John Brda, we covered the moments after it. Now I got my timestamps wrote down, and I can go back in starting here over the next few days and making clips to post probably during the day, and I can still come out in the evening and do my regular updates on the stock. So DK is asking, what do you need to get approved for Fidelity? Yeah, it's something like they said, the fixed income. You got to call and speak to a fixed, let me type it in here for you. You need a Fidelity fixed income specialist. That's what you need right there. You need to call Fidelity, say I need to speak with a fixed income specialist. They'll transfer you over, and that is what you need to get. So it's a matter of the hold time. I get a 30-minute lunch break. I was on hold for 25 minutes and didn't get through. So I was on hold all that time. So hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to get through. I'm going to call on my way to work and see if they can get me just a limit order in, and once it opens up, and just hopefully buy some. I don't really care the price, a more market order. I just want to buy it. I don't care if I'm paying it, because honestly, guys, I don't care if I'm paying $1. I don't care if I'm paying $1.10. I don't care if I'm paying $1.20. I don't care if I'm paying $1.50, and I don't care if I'm paying $2. These prices don't mean anything to me. These prices are irrelevant. It does suck I can't get as many then, because I'm paying higher price. Because I know the dividend, in my personal opinion, is going to be a lot more money than $1, $2, $3. Because John Brda already turned down $3. He could have sold it for when he had $6.6 million in the account. He turned it down. So that is what I'm going to leave you with at the end of this live stream. Thank you to everyone that has commented. Thank you to everyone smash thumbs up. Thank you to everyone engaging in the live chat. Thank you to everyone that left super chats. Thank you to everyone as a channel member. You guys are awesome. And I'll catch y'all in the next video, guys. Peace.